This man has been convicted of rape. As you know, the penalty for rape is death. This disgusting creature has given us no choice. Am I correct, girls?
Yes, Aunt Lydia.
Alfred.
But that is not the worst of it. Now, you know that I do my very best to protect you. The world can be quite an ugly place, but we cannot wish that ugliness away. We cannot hide from that ugliness. This man raped a handmaid. She was pregnant, and the baby died. Quiet, please. Now, girls, up. Wings.
Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be reviewing the TV series Handmaid's Tale, based on the book by Margaret Atwood, and it was a film in 1990. It starred Natasha Richardson and Robert Duvall. But in this case, the TV series was picked up on Hulu, and my friend actually introduced me to the show, and I've been hooked ever since the first season. This stars Elizabeth Moss, Rivone Travi something. And Joseph Fiennes as the commander, and Dodd and Samir Riley. Handmaid's Tale is about Gilead, that's basically a lockdown slave unit for women, because, or some certain women, because they birth rates have gone down and they can't populate as much. So they're basically used as sex slaves. So going into this show, I wasn't really sure if I like it because it's so dark. But again, the performances and the cast alone is so great. Like I think I'd even be bold enough to say that it's one of the best some of the best cast performances I've seen in a long time on television. And even the first season won awards for it, which was really deserved. So Elizabeth Moss's character, sorry about that, blessed be. But Elizabeth Moss's character, June, which her slave name is Alfred, her daughter is basically taken away from her and has become an adopted child in Gilead. And throughout the season, she's determined to get her daughter back, and we see flashbacks of Luke, her husband, that's outside of Gilead, and we get a sense of their relationship and also her relationship as a mother, and different themes throughout, you know, with the commander and Mrs. Waterford, which are two of one of the worst characters ever. I mean, they're great actors, but the way they portray the characters makes you really hate them, which means they're doing their job right. But there's so many things going on in this, like you're not allowed to choose who you're with. You know, you gotta have an escort to walk down the road to the grocery store. If you have a different sexuality, like if you're gay or lesbian, you'll get tortured for it, basically. Well, not basically, that's what it is. They torture them, or kill them. And the show is really, it's honestly really scary, just the thought of it happening, because it's not so far-fetched, because there's many other countries that this sort of thing happens, and in that sense, it's really sad too, because you feel for the characters, and it makes you feel bad for the people that you know go through this stuff. But the first season, it deals with, her basically living under the house of her commander and Mrs. Waterford, bitch, and sleeping with her eye that's in the house, like a guard, basically, and trying to reach out to her daughter, and the second season she's impregnated by the eye, and of course the commander thinks it's his child, but for that they let her get by with several incidences where she broke the law of Gilead, I guess. But so through that she's dealing with pregnancy the whole time, trying to escape and get the baby set free. And then it's constantly building up, and there's always some kind of cliffhanger, which is great up until the final episode of the season, because you gotta wait so long for it. But then in the third season, you get, there's quite a few changes. Well, in the last of the second season, Mr. Waterford turns the tables, trying to free her daughter, well, June's daughter. Miss Waterford thinks it's hers because she thinks it's the commander's baby. But she realizes that's not a safe place or an environment for a child or anyone really, because she gets her finger cut off because she speaks her opinion. So now she's starting to feel or understand what it's like for a handmaid. By the end of the day, she still doesn't really care. She just basically cares about herself and her child, or what she thinks is her child. So I had no sympathy for her at all. Everyone keeps saying how, I love and hate her or whatever, but I just, no, she's an evil person. Ann Dodd, who's really a great talented actress. She's in Shiloh. I remember her from that when I was a kid, and she's really good in this. She's one of the best characters, and in a bad way as well. She plays like the warden, basically, and she puts these handmaids through hell, just as much as any of the other characters. Even though she claims to love the handmaids, she really just switched it off like a light, and then becomes a complete monster. But Elizabeth Moss, she is such a talented actress, and it's the first thing I've ever seen her in. She's in a few movies now that I have yet to see, but she is very, very talented. She has so much range in her facial expressions and her emotions, and not just being able to bring tears at the drop of the hat, but then also you can feel what she's feeling through her emotions, and that's really a testament to her as an actress. And the rest of the cast, honestly. Everyone pulls their weight. And as well as the cinematography is really well done too. And the coloring, the lighting, it's very well done. It's a very emotional show. One of the most emotional shows out there I've seen. And very thought-provoking too. And then, but then with the third season, there's a few episodes that seem like fillers, which at first everyone was saying how the season was slow, which I didn't see it because, it starts off with a big climax of Serena burning the house down, and then, I was thinking she's going to do a total turning of the tables, but she really doesn't in the end. But ever since the Waterfords announced they're searching for Nicole, the baby, on the news, it basically kind of takes it downhill, linger on shit. Like, this whole episode where June's in the hospital with his handmaid that's in a coma that I really don't know much about. So it's like this whole episode, you're not getting another character at all because she can't talk because she's in a coma. And then June's on her knees the whole time. And then the ending pays off a little bit with June trying to kill Serena, basically. And that's one thing about the show I was really hoping for, is I was really wanting to see all the handmaids go Spartacus on their asses. That would be really cool to see, and you see quite a bit of that in the third season, which I really like. June kills one of the commanders, which is Christopher Maloney from Law & Order. It was really strange seeing him in this, considering he's in Law & Order, because he's like basically an FBI that's trying to help with assaulted people, but yet here he's one of the assaulters. But he does really well in this too. He's good in all his stuff. The season basically, ends with another cliffhanger, hoping, June would get out because she had chances before and she hasn't. And I'd honestly like to see her get out of Gilead just to kind of shake things up a bit and maybe introduce us to other characters. And then, meanwhile, Jude could, try to get her daughter outside of Gilead maybe. I think it'll be interesting. And I'd like to see her free for once. Because, going through seasons and still locked up, basically. But then the final episode was really emotional because she gets a lot of the kids out. I think it's 50, and one of them actually reconnects with their father. And I was really disappointed there. I was really hoping that Luke and June's daughter would be on the plane, but she wasn't. Which I really don't understand how, though. If she can manage to get all them kids, how can she not get her daughter out? But, I guess that's to save for more attention for the next season. Because that's basically the story. Yeah, the idea of June trying to get her daughter out of Gilead is the glue that holds the story and focus, basically, and I guess that's why they made that decision. But again, like I said, another cliffhanger, and it shows her in the first episode. It shows her with this and it's like the whole state of Gilead is like a concentration camp anyway, but this is more like they're going to the gas chambers type of thing. So at the end of the episode, the handmaids are carrying her off into the woods, I guess to try to hide her or save her. But then I'm assuming she ends up getting to the place she was in the beginning of the episode, which really sucks because I don't know how she's going to get out of that. Or I guess that's a good thing though, because more tension and more questions to build up while we're waiting and everything. But definitely check this season out, or all the seasons, honestly, because it's a really good watch and it's a really good time if you're into that sort of thing, like dark, thought-provoking shows. And it's very different. It's not like anything I've seen on TV. And it's one of the reasons I think it's so popular. And the cast is amazing. I can't praise that enough. But that's my review for the seasons and my thoughts on what we've seen so far. Let me know what you think. I'd like to know your thoughts and comment below. And under his eye, and blessed be the Fruit Loops.
Ethan, hurry up. Maggie, stop. I just want to go home. You can't. June. Kiki needs to go home. This is where she belongs. No one belongs here. Maggie, if you try to run, I will shoot you. I swear to God I will. I will. I'm sorry.
Let her go.